Foundations are starting to be dug for Project Exodus. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone and welcome back to yet another Project Exodus construction update. That's right, today I'm starting off in my car, and that is because it is a very early morning indeed. It takes me back to the days when I was waking up ridiculously early to drive in to film the demolition of Creek Freak Massacre and obviously the original Loggers Leap station. It's giving me those vibes right now. But today is a very exciting day over on the Project Exodus site. Obviously, if you watched my previous video in which I answered loads and loads of your guys' questions about Project Exodus, you'll know I mentioned that we were going through a period where not a whole lot was really happening on the site, at least kind of visible, interesting construction for the camera. However, I said we were on the brink of the really exciting stuff starting to happen. They were just waiting for a big machine to be delivered to the park. Well, I'm very happy to say that that machine has now been delivered and they have officially started digging the foundations for Project Exodus. So I'm so excited to go over and see it in person. So yeah, I'm in my car right now. I've got my Steelies on. Look at the state of these guys, absolute mess. I need to give them a good clean, don't I? And we've also had some really exciting news come in from the planning documents. It's weird talking about the Exodus planning documents again after the whirlwind we went through where we weren't sure if it was going to get approved, if the whole project was going to be cancelled. All of that happened over the period of last year, 2022. But yeah, we've recently had some new documents uploaded, which could very well be teasing the colour that Project Exodus could be, as well as the theme. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about in today's video, so I'm going to make my way over to Old Town? Can I still call it Old Town? I don't know anymore. Like, what is that area of the park? To the Project Exodus site. We'll go with that. Let's go. So here we are within the Project Exodus construction site now. Now, I'm going to keep referring back to my last video because I spoke about so many things. But one thing that I showed in my last video was just how much dirt was being delivered to the park. And that was, of course, because of a lake fill, which I'll show you very shortly. But for months and months and months, the main deliveries that have been coming to this site have either been construction vehicles, along the likes of like diggers and bulldozers and stuff like that, but also loads and loads of dirt. Well, today I got to site, and as you can see behind me, we've got a wooden crate, which is very exciting. It reminded me of when we first got those ground pins arrive at the park for Project Exodus. But yeah, I think as we start moving forwards, we're gonna get even more cool deliveries like this, because I believe this is like kind of some of the stuff that's going to help them with the foundations. So yeah, it's just cool to see a new delivery here at the site. Rather than just dirt and materials, it's actually something that will be used for the coaster itself. I won't get too close to the box because it's probably got some sensitive information that I can't show, but yeah, it's cool to see this kind of delivery. I'm very excited to show you guys what I'm looking at in this direction though, because construction vehicles on the site have gone vertical. Before we just had loads of small diggers, but we've now got a very, very big piece of machinery sat in the middle of the site. So, take a look what is hiding behind me, guys. Haha, look at the size of that. So yeah, this is the big old piece of equipment that the park have been waiting to be delivered, because foundations are starting to be dug for Project Exodus. This is where my lack of construction knowledge is really going to show through, because I'm afraid I can't tell you the exact name of this thing. However, I do know that it is a massive, massive drill. And essentially this huge thing is being piled down into the ground to dig as deep as possible, or as deep as they need to go, for the foundations for Project Exodus. Now, the location of this drill is, of course, currently where the lift hill for the ride is going to go. And of course, this lift hill is going to be the tallest lift hill in the UK. It's going to be 236 feet tall, which means, yeah, this is the part of the ride that's going to have the deepest foundations, I think, at least, because it's going to be the tallest kind of structure of the entire ride. So yeah, as you can see, the top of it literally cuts off at the top of the frame. I'd say it's about 100 feet tall, this drill on its own. It might be a tiny bit less, but it looks about the same size as Saw the Ride from here, and Saw the Ride is of course 100 feet tall. So yeah, I mean, if it's 100 feet tall, it might go down 100 feet into the ground. I don't know how it all works. As I said, I'm not a construction worker by any means, but yeah, I do know that it's absolutely massive, and I do know that it's so exciting. So just as I start off this video talking about how the deliveries here at the park are getting even more exciting, look what we've got, guys. We've got another truck of dirt. I thought it had all come in now, but clearly not. Even more dirt is still being delivered to the park, and that is of course all to do with the lake infill, which is still ongoing. It's still going really well. As I mentioned in the last video, they've now cut across the lake down the lower end of the site. Just to confirm, Loggers Leap, just behind this orange digger, is still in place. You can just about see the trough there. So that is all still there, but this little road that they've created across here is obviously going to massively help them get out that bit of Loggers Leap's trough. And then yeah, otherwise everywhere else on site, it's pretty standard stuff really. They're still currently flattening this top bit of land. Obviously that's all going to help with the service road that's going to run just down the side of a lift hill. Oh, let's Saw the Ride testing. And yeah, to be fair, we had quite a bit of rain last night, so this lake appears a little bit bigger than it did in the last video. In my Project Exodus Q&A video, I got asked a question about the colour that Project Exodus would be. Our next question comes in from Max Grinden, who said, what colour do you think Project Exodus will be? However, that evening, something very interesting happened, and I ended up just cutting the question from the Q&A. And that is because some very interesting new documents got uploaded to the Runnymede Borough Planning Council's website regarding Project Exodus. Now, it's been absolutely ages since I've spoken about these planning documents. Last year, they were the talk of the town. It was what was keeping this project going, because we weren't sure if it was going to be cancelled because of a number of issues with the environmental agency in regards to flooding and flood zones around the park. However, as we can clearly see, I'm stood on the construction site. The project is going ahead. Yes. And yeah, in that Project Exodus Q&A video, I said that I wouldn't really talk about the theme or anything in that nature, because obviously I'm in the position that I'm in which I know certain stuff. I'm just gonna have to move out of the way because another lorry of dirt is coming through. There we go. But yeah, a very exciting document got uploaded, and it's got so many people talking, and it's so exciting that I can't resist but to talk about it. And yeah, the document, which I'll show on screen right now, is essentially a submission to the council to tell them what colour they kind of aim to have this ride looking like. So yeah, colour for so long has been a massive part of the speculation, and it obviously does of course lead into like what kind of theme is it going to go down? Is it going to be quite a dark coaster with a dark theme, or is it going to be quite a bright theme? And as you can see, the colours that they've kind of submitted to the council are pearl gold, umber grey, black grey, pearl beige, pure white and papyrus white. So yeah, this document essentially outlines how they want Project Exodus to look. And there's also some new concepts as to what they want the station to look like and what kind of materials they're going to use in the station. But of course, enthusiasts have really looked into it, and they've noticed some interesting signs on the walls and stuff. And as I said, I'm unfortunately not in a position where I can join in on all of the speculation, but what I will say is it's all very exciting. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, guys, what you think of this colour scheme. And of course, these plans with the details that people have been spotting. Yeah, let me know what you think. A lot of people seem to be saying it's kind of leading towards some kind of Egyptian theme, obviously with this gold color scheme, and obviously there have been certain teasers that have happened over the past few years here at the park. So here we have a bit of a closer look at some of the materials that are being used to pile for these foundations down here. Now these shouldn't be confused with the ground pins that I of course showed a good few months ago now. Those will kind of become after all of these foundations have been dug for. But yeah, just look at the size of these. Of course these will eventually be put vertically into the ground, all in preparation for those footers, for the supports, for the track, for Project Exodus. But yeah, it's so interesting just looking at all this, knowing that very soon it's all going to be put into the ground around this entire area. And yeah, that brings us to the end of yet another Project Exodus construction update. As you can see, things are really exciting here on site, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come. So be sure to subscribe and lock in for even more Project Exodus updates. They'll be uploaded as and when anything here on site happens. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching today's video. My name is Jack Silkstone. Goodbye.